Hey everyone, welcome to another Blitsy Live. I'm Megan and this is Claudia.
Yes.
And we're excited because today we're going to show you guys all of the fun things that you can do with brushables. So
yes.
Do you want to kind of talk about what brushables are?
Yes. So Megan is recovering. Her
Yeah,
voice
sorry. I don't sound like myself because I've been sick the last couple of days.
Yeah.
So bear with me with my
I'll try to do most
voice.
of the talking.
Thank you, Claudia.
But yes, so brushables. Brushables are by, they're a Kuretake Zig product. So they're Japanese. They're same manufacturer as the clean color real brush markers, which we love. And they are sold open stock, so they're sold individually, and they're also sold in these little packs of 4. So in the blog post, I linked all of the available products that I used for this broadcast that we have in stock there. So what's really nice about
They're so pretty.
Yeah, they're really pretty colors, really vibrant, even like the deeper shades.
Yeah.
But what's awesome about these brushables, so just a little, like a few little info tidbits. So they're dual tipped, so they're going to be, it's a brush tip on each side. But what's really cool is that the darker end, the opposite end is a 50% tint of this color.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even really notice that because it's so like faint, but you can tell like
yes.
you actually look at it.
So if you, so for example, like this shade, and then the opposite end will be a 50% tint of that shade.
That's so cool.
So it's really easy to blend them. They're great for, well, I'm going to show you a few techniques, but they're really great for brush lettering. Card making, you can even use them on stamps. Nice. They're great for memory keeping, so if you do scrapbooks or anything that you want to last a while, they are great for that because, let me make sure I get all of this covered. They're permanent, light fast, acid free, and photo safe.
Oh, they're permanent. Nice.
Yes. So if you want to put these in your scrapbooking, it's going to be great. It's not going to break down your paper or any other stuff that you want to be archival.
But what I really like about it is that you get 2 colors in one.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And they work really great together.
Yeah, they look so pretty together.
Another thing to note is that these brush tips are not like the brush tip that you see on the clean color real brush pens. This is a stronger, more flexible tip that it has a lot of elasticity, so you can really push down on it without damaging the point.
Yeah, because with the clean color reel, it's more kind of like individual, like an actual, like a paintbrush almost, right?
Yeah, it's individual little bristles, that, and so they'll actually kind of like splay open when you push down. This is much more flexible and elastic when you're actually using that. And I will actually just jump right in. So I will show you a couple of different techniques.
So have any of you guys used these before? Anyone new to
They,
brushables? Anyone been playing with these guys? Let us know.
Now that I've actually been kind of just messing around with them, they are probably my new favorite marker because...
You did mention that.
Yeah, they are just so easy to use. So for example, this...
How cute is this?
Yeah, so this little happy spring...
This makes me so happy staring at it because it's so bright and vibrant.
This little happy spring hand-lettered thing that I did, all of these little floral and botanical elements are made just with the tip. Just
kind of pressing the tip down?
Yeah, so I'll show you how you can kind of vary the pressure on the tip to create all of these different floral elements.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
And then I have, let me grab these two. So once you get going, you can really kind of get creative with...
Kind of get carried away?
Yeah, with the embellishments.
Yeah.
So here's another one that I did. And it really makes the letters pop if you are doing hand lettering. And even if you're just doing something simple like a serif or a sans serif, you can still see how layering the different tones really makes it pop.
I love that you kind of added those embellishments using the same marker. That came from the same marker.
And so there's a video linked as well in the blog post that shows how I did this one, so that you can really kind of see close up how these little petals are formed, but I'm going to go ahead and show you today how we do that.
Have you been practicing your brush lettering? It looks really good.
A little bit. I'm just take it really slow, and I sometimes do letter by letter.
I know.
Yeah.
I keep saying I need to practice, and I was kind of like actually doing it there for a while, and then, you know, slowly kind of forgot about it, but I need to get back into it because that's inspiring me now that I see these markers that can really have a ton of fun with
Yeah,
them.
you can have a lot of fun with them. So I'm gonna just grab all the ones that we have.
And obviously, as Claudia is demoing, if there's any questions you guys have about, you know, the technique she's doing or the markers, you know, in general, just let us know and we'll answer them.
So I have the yellow set, which also has kind of like it has like an actual true orange in there, and then the blue set, and I have some of the purple ones.
We do actually have a question from Dorothy. She was wondering, can you use water to blend the colors?
Yes, you can.
You can use water.
They
okay,
are,
awesome.
yeah, they're water based, so you can definitely use them. It's not as I would say it's not as liquid, like when it actually comes out. But you can definitely. I'll show you. We can definitely try that so that you can see what it looks like on camera.
You're like these just got even better. If you can
Yes.
use water. I use it to watercolor.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to make some simple flowers. So when you're doing this technique, you want to start with the lighter shade, because then you can go in with the darker shade and add depth to the center. So I'm just going to take the tip of the marker and you're just going to push down, and then you can just literally just,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can just push down.
And every petal is perfect.
And make really symmetrical petals. And actually, let me grab another color because this is a little dark, so it might be hard to see. But you can do, so let's say you just want to do 4 petals. Hold on, let me move this up.
Dorothy also is asking, can you use embossing powder to raise the brushed area? Do you know?
That I would be a little tricky.
Yeah.
Because the paper absorbs it, I think, a little too quickly. With water, it's a little more forgiving because you're kind of adding liquid to it. But
you could definitely try, but I feel like you may not get the best results.
Yeah, it doesn't really lend itself to embossing. So you can see here how you can just do different.
Oh my God, seriously, like now I need to get these.
You can do different shapes.
Because weren't you saying you can also use it if you're into bullet journaling, use them in your bullet journals?
Yes, these are becoming very popular in your bullet journals.
I need to get these. Bullet journaling, hand lettering, memory keeping, card making, rubber stamping. These are very versatile for sure.
Okay, so with this little pink flower here, I used the lighter end. And now I'm going to take the darker end, and you can literally just go in, and you just don't want to press it down so that it does the same length. You want it to just do like kind of the center area, and you'll see how easily.
Oh my God, that is so cute. Like, I don't really have a reason to make like spring cards, but now I want to.
You can see how easily it just creates.
Oh my God, that is so cute.
Depth in the flower.
Look at that.
So that's one flower that you can make, and you can see that if you apply less pressure, it makes
little baby drops.
little smaller. Yeah, that's another thing, is it makes perfect little raindrops.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, one more question. The brush tips, they're the same on both sides, right?
Yes, they're exactly the same. It's the only difference is the actual tint. Yep.
Gotcha.
And so let's see. Let's do some. Actually, you know what? Let me bring this jar around because this is probably. Better to just
grab the jar.
Better to have these.
Perfect storage there, little mason jar.
Okay, there we go. So that they're not all rolling around. So let me show you a different flower, which these are just so easy and addicting. So for this one, you're literally taking the tip and just going once.
Oh, a little flick?
Yeah, a little flick, and then you go the other way. And with the darker shade, do the same thing. Just a little shorter flick.
Yeah.
And you have like a little, kind of like a little tulip.
Oh my God, stop it.
So that
that is so cute.
So you can do this kind of shape.
Oh my gosh.
And then for leaves, this is super easy. So for leaves, you can just do like a little vine.
Yeah. That green's really pretty.
And then just do little leaves all the way around. And you can do them on the other side if you'd like as well. Let me flip this over. And then you have little vines.
They're so cute. Like, I love that the tip doubles as your leaves and your petals.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And let's see, there's...
I think there's another question.
Sure.
Someone wants to know if we can zoom in on the flower. I don't know if I lift this up, if that's
gonna do anything
or make it blurry. I don't know if that's gonna work.
I think a little forward, maybe. No, back.
Sorry.
Back. Right there.
Can you guys see that? Is that a better close-up of those petals and those little leaves? And those are so cute. That's the little tulip that Claudia did, just kind of doing flicks with the brush tips. That was super cool. So hopefully you guys can see that better, but they're really, really cute. And then one more question. Vicki was asking, are the marker tips flexible? Like if I wanted to do calligraphy with them.
Definitely. So I will show you.
I think you mentioned they're pretty forgiving, right? You can
press
pretty hard and it's not going to ruin that tip.
They're great for hand lettering. So let me show you. I'll just do a B because it's a letter that I'm used to doing. But you can see how you can push down.
Yeah, nice.
You know, pretty.
Get that really light upstroke and that kind of fatter downstroke. Cool.
So you can see, and then what's great is that once again, so I use the lighter tint, and then you go in with the darker shade, and you can literally just kind of create. Like, that's how easy it is
Claudia,
to create.
I seriously need these markers.
I know, they're so fun. I love them.
You're
so
like,
you
I
can
think
easily...
I'm obsessed. And I'm like, okay, Claudia, whatever. And I'm like, oh, God, now I see. Now I see why. These are so great.
So you can really easily kind of create depth and in shading, in your lettering. It's so, so easy.
And you said if you don't want the 4-pack, you can do open stock and buy individual colors. If you have favorite colors, you can buy whichever ones you want, right?
Or you can definitely just take one color, like a yellow and a green and a blue, and just try them out and see how you feel before you actually invest in like a whole pack of them.
But you're probably going to want the whole pack, right?
Because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So another little flower, there's just so many. Once you get started, you kind of experiment with the different shapes that you make. But you can make one that's, actually this one looks really pretty when it's yellow.
Ooh.
So this one, you're going to just flick outward like that.
Look at that.
And then you just do the same thing.
Just light little flicks.
Yep.
That looks so pretty.
And you can go in with an even darker shade and just do little dots.
Oh my gosh.
And you have a completely different flower.
All of the pretty flower making.
There is another one. Oh, I mean, I can do this all day.
You're like, you're like, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? I can do it.
Yeah, because you can do little ones that are just, you know, 2 up, which is also a heart shape. So if you want to do little heart embellishments, it's.
I don't know the name of the flower because I'm bad at that. But isn't there a flower that's like got like a bunch of like these guys like all like.
Oh yeah, like a lilac.
Lilac, right?
Yeah, you can do.
And then do a little.
Let's see. That was your first go at it.
I know, I'm like, let me try.
And it's perfect.
This is fun.
Yeah, so you can create tons of little shapes, and that's the other thing too. Yeah, if you can make the little raindrop go the other way, and it looks like a little leaf as opposed to like on the vine.
You
a
guys.
Little stem and a leaf.
I'm like, hey, Easter Bunny, if you're out there, this would make a really great addition to my Easter basket. When I say Easter Bunny, you know who I mean.
You're like, I'm looking at you.
I'm like, hey, MOM, can you hook a girl up?
I think there is also, hold on, let me see what else. Well, I'm just trying to kind of look here.
Anthony, who's watching us right now, said, I have full set syndrome, so one won't do. We totally agree. Like,
yes,
that
we
is
understand
the problem.
that.
And we appreciate you because we get it. You can't just
get
a couple of them. You're like, okay, like I tried them out. Like I need that color too. And I need that color. So I'm just gonna need them all.
Yeah.
I feel you.
If you want to make a little violet, you can push down even harder and kind of create like a wider, rounder tip like that.
And it's all from the same tip. It's just kind of manipulating the tip in different directions and different pressures.
Different pressures. And then you just go in with your little.
So fun.
That.
So fun.
Yeah. So this is kind of just how you can freehand. Once again, like let's say you want to make you want to do a hand lettering technique, but you want to do just like a regular. It's really easy to just do regular serifs with this because you just push down to get that wide, and then you just a light stroke gives you this one. So you can do, for example, like if you want to do an A. And then you can go in with the darker shade and
add your little embellishments.
Yeah, add your little embellishments so you get perfectly symmetrical, same size.
Oh my God, that is
depending
too fun.
on so really
fun.
Let's try the rubber stamping.
Yes, I'm excited to see this.
So, grab another sheet of paper.
That's why I love these, because they're so versatile. I mean, you can use them pretty much any type of crafting that you do. These guys are going to be perfect.
Yeah, because you can use them to color in your stamps as well.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to use the brush tip as a tool. You can use it just as you would a regular marker to color in. So let's try. I have some watercolor paper here. So if you're going to try these with water, you definitely want to do watercolor paper. Otherwise, it won't work. The ink gets absorbed too much into regular cardstock, so you don't have much to work with. But I have this cute little medallion stamp here.
I love this. Are these new?
These
are fresh
are
out of package.
These are brand new stamps, but these are Ken Oliver, which we love. You know, we love Ken.
Yeah, they're pretty.
So you literally just color right on here, and you can use.
Look at that. You're like, P.S. And since they are water-based, I'm assuming you don't have to worry about kind of compromising or contaminating the tip.
Yes, I'm going to show you that next. Yes,
perfect.
They're self-cleaning.
You're like, slow down, Megan.
No,
Let me get to it. Thank you.
They are self-cleaning, so you don't have to worry about contaminating.
Perfect.
The brush tips and ruining them. So
that's always people's fears. Like, I don't want to ruin my tip. You don't have to,
especially because they're so cool and you don't want to just use them once.
Right. And you're like, I ruined my markers.
So let's try. I actually haven't tried this dry without adding water. Let's see if this works. If not, I know water works, but I'm curious.
Dorothy is asking, what is the largest pack of colors you sell? It's a pack of 4, right?
Correct. Right now, the largest pack we have is 4. And there's also a neutral pack that I don't have with me here, but it has a gray, a black, a brown. So if you are doing kind of your card coloring and you need more neutrals or skin tones, there's another pack.
Look at that.
It does work without water.
So pretty.
And let's try it with water.
I'm going to try and lift this up and see if people can get it better. Hopefully, can you guys see that? Isn't that so pretty? Isn't that so pretty?
And what's great is that so it makes a really crisp impression without water.
Yeah.
And then if you add water, you'll see how it kind of creates a more watercolor effect.
That the blurred lines.
Yeah. And you can achieve this by either spraying your paper or spraying your stamp. I spray the stamp usually.
Yeah, I like that. It's easy. Then it kind of, instead of spraying all of your paper, if you don't want water everywhere.
So I have my sprayer here. Let me just
get the magic going over there.
Yeah. So I don't get the set all sprayed. So I just misted it with some water. And then same thing, just make an impression and you'll see how.
Oh my gosh.
That's a completely different look. And actually
totally different.
So you can let that dry, air dry. You can hit it with the a heat emboss tool, or if you want to just dab it, you get like a really cool kind of effect with that.
That is so pretty.
Yeah, so they blend really, and what's great is that it takes the guesswork out of the shading, so you just start with the darker end and then add the lighter next, and it does all this kind of shading for you without you having to worry about.
And do you find that when you add the markers to the stamps that they stay wet long enough for you to kind of finish your design and then stamp? Like, you don't have to work too quick. I mean, you don't want to take your time.
Right. You definitely, you can work in sections quickly, and I think as long as you're. It might depend on the size of the stamp. Like, we can try this bird here. This is also kind of.
Yeah. Imagine if you're using a larger background stamp. You'll want to work rather quickly as you're applying the marker to the stamp and get it down to your paper, but you shouldn't worry about it drying out. But like I said, you'll want to work relatively quick, but you don't have to worry.
So we have this little bird stamp. I'm just going to try.
Is this Ken Oliver too?
Yes.
Ken, look at you and your new stamps.
Yes, we're loving these stamps. But yes, I will show you in just a sec when we're done with this little bird here how you can, how you don't have to worry about contaminating. So we can just add a bunch of different colors.
Yeah, so even if you know, you're not into like actual inks, you don't have to get inks. You can just buy
Right.
markers and your stamps and use all of these guys.
Exactly. So if you are, if you don't like the whole embossing powder
Right.
and you don't have a ton of
Right.
ink pads, this is
Or
really
if you're like,
versatile.
I'm not like a really in-depth card maker, but I do like using stamps and I do like, hand lettering and I do like watercoloring. Like, you don't have to worry about getting ink or ink pads because these markers are perfect because you can actually color in your stamp either one color or do multiple like Claudia's doing here.
Yeah, so you'll see. Let's see. I think I'll probably spritz this one.
And when you gave him a little blue eye, or is it a black eye?
It's blue.
A little blue eye. Little blue-eyed bird.
Let's see here. All right. So
Beatrice actually answered Dorothy's question and said, you can take your time coloring the stamp. All you have to do is huff on the stamp and it's wet again. Oh, that is a fantastic tip.
That's a good tip.
So it kind of like your breath kind of moistens it again.
Yeah, that is a really good tip.
That's a really good tip. Thank you.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah, so I like the dab technique just because it creates kind of like a subtle.
Yeah, I like that. Look at that.
Subtle impression, but
It looks like you totally like
just like paint it like a really easy painterly effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's try this little bird one more time dry so that people can see what that looks like.
Giving them different effects. I like it.
Yeah, so when I first saw these, I didn't quite understand what the difference was because Zig has so many different markers. And then once I actually started playing around with them, I realized that they are completely different from, for example, like the real clean color real brush.
And like I said, you get two colors in one marker. And I like, the bigger the bang for my buck, the better.
Exactly. And there's variety.
Yeah. And their colors are so vibrant.
They're really
I think that's
pretty.
one of the things that really drew me to these is how vibrant the colors are. It's a really, and like even in these kind of lighter pastels, so it's a really nice color palette that they have.
Oh yeah, I can show you. I'll show right now when I show the blending so that you can see how they're self-cleaning. I'll show you the lighter shades, which as Megan just mentioned, they're really, really light pastels, and it's kind of hard to find those colors in good quality markers.
I feel very like timely as far as like Easter and spring kind of the pastels.
Because they're still very vibrant even though they're pastel shades. Okay, so we will stamp this bird dry.
Let's see, there's another comment asking, will this work on foamy instead of paper? I don't know if I
Oh, the foam, like just craft foam?
Maybe.
I
don't know. Well, it might work actually.
It might work.
If you're talking about like the actual like craft foam,
it might work, but because it's water based, and foam is not absorbent necessarily. It's not permanent, so you might. I mean, it's permanent once dry, but you may run the risk of it smudging. Is what
unless
I'm saying.
maybe they meant like, maybe they mean like styrofoam. Maybe if it's styrofoam, I don't know. I just have all this work on foam instead of paper. So if it's craft foam, you might be able to use it, but
I would test it.
Yeah,
just always
you might
test
not get
it
the,
on a small
the
section.
permanency with that. Okay.
But here it is dry, so you pick up.
Oh wow!
So you'll see that when it's dry,
all that detail.
It's it's a completely different look. So this is more of like that painterly look. You have some detail, but this is very, very detailed, and it's really great for those detailed stamps. It's going to pick all of that up.
So much fun.
Okay, so let's try really quickly blending colors.
Excuse me, you guys.
Color to color. So
oh yes. So you don't have to panic when you cross colors.
So another thing to know about these is because they're dual tip, the best way to store them is horizontally. So you want to store them horizontally so that one side isn't dried out and the other side, you don't want the ink to flow all to one end. But you can do this tip to tip blending technique. So if you just hold a darker shade to a lighter shade, and you can see here I'm using red and yellow, so it doesn't have to be the same color family. You get this really cool, like multi-colored effect. And so normally you would think like, oh, I contaminated the yellow marker, now it's always going to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
But you really just need to scribble.
That's so cool.
And they clean themselves.
And even the cleaning process creates a cool technique,
yeah,
right?
It creates like a cool technique. So you can see
ombre effect.
That you don't have to. That's a really awesome trendy technique that people are doing for hand lettering.
Hand lettering, yes.
Yeah. And so I'll just show you really quickly one last thing, which is just the pastels. Yeah. So you can see how pretty. And
you're right. They are way brighter than you would imagine.
Looking at them.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about these markers, which is probably why they call them brushables, you can see that it almost looks like I used a paintbrush.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look like it's a marker.
No.
Because it does kind of have like a dark to light as you apply pressure.
Yeah.
So it looks like you literally took a paintbrush and just...
I was going to say that earlier when you were doing your flowers, like the kind of flick technique, went from dark to light. Yeah.
With ease.
Yeah.
So you can really see how easy these are to work with.
So much
addicting.
Fun. Let us know if you're obsessed with these markers. If you think your friends are going to be obsessed, make sure you share this with them because let's be real, these markers are awesome and we all need them. So if there are no more questions, I think that's it. Yeah,
we have a blog post that includes everything we went over today. It also is going to have the Facebook Live embedded if you want to see it. If you missed any part, you can rewatch. And there's also a quick little video at the bottom that shows you kind of close up how I did these flowers. So if you need to see that a little closer up.
Awesome. Well, thanks for making me addicted now to these markers, Claudia. Thanks for joining us, you guys, and we'll see all of you again next Thursday here at 10 a.m.
Bye.
See you later.